Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. I am Sandrine Grissard from Improov. We are the experts in efficiency. So on this channel, you'll always hear about tips, tricks, methods, philosophies of how to spend less time working, more time playing, and just working more effectively. Having more time to do things that are really important to you, sticking to the essential instead of losing time and losing your head sometimes in elements that are not that important to get done. I'm so happy to welcome you here. Can't wait to show you the next video. Below, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and don't forget that little bell either so you get notified every time we put a new video on this channel. So thank you so much and enjoy the show. Hello and welcome back for another video. Today you will learn how to create plans, how to create it properly, and making sure that it's linked to a Microsoft team so that it'll be so much easier to communicate with your team about it, collaborate on it, and see its evolution and a progression of how the tasks evolve. So let's look at that right now and let's see how we do this. First and foremost, you need to head over to your Microsoft 365 online because Planner is an online tool. And you need to go into the launcher here, which is also called a waffle because it looks like one. And you will select Planner. Now, if you don't see it here, you might need to explore all your apps. And once you do this, you might need to go and look at all the apps and find Planner this way in alphabetical order. So you will see it right here. So you can click on Planner and that will bring you to your hub. Now, once you get to your hub here, the interesting thing is you will notice that I have actually pinned my most common plans that I have created. So if you have no plans, of course, you're not going to see this yet, but you will notice that you can go to any of your plans here and you can go to the three dots and pin it so that it appears here at the top. So that's a really nice way to get access to your plan once it's created. But let's go back a few steps and let's create our first plan. First things first, you will go here to the plus where it says New Plan. Once you've done that, you can actually use an existing plan. So you see there's business plans, there's an employee onboarding plan, there's a project management plan, there's a software development plan, there's a simple plan, and then there's a blank one where you can really start with a blank slate. So I think it'd be a really good idea if we went to the simple plan just because it already has the basics. So let's click on that. And you will see that right away it shows you what it's going to look like. And what we want to do is you want to give it a title. So we're going to call it Our Best Plan. Whoops. There we go. And what we want to do here is we actually want to link it to a Microsoft team. Super important to create this because if you create a plan in Planner and you do not link it to any existing team, now people won't be able to find it easily in their Microsoft Teams. It'll just kind of be standalone. They'll have to go to Planner to see it, to actually have an overview of the entire plan. The plan will not get automatically added to the members of the team. So you're going to create a lot of work for yourself that's really not required. So best practice, make sure you attach it to an existing team. So let's look at that again, and we will choose to attach it to a team that we called the test team. So here we go. We have a test team, and now we will add this plan to that. And because test team is already set up as a private team, we will not need to set up the privacy and sensitivity. And now we can hit the create button. With regards to privacy and sensitivity, what that was a way for us to make sure that this plan was seen and being used by people who already have access and managing the accesses. Because we chose a team that exists, automatically all the members of that team will have access and will see the plan. It doesn't mean that they will have tasks that are assigned to them until we assign specific tasks. So let's look at what we just created. So back to the screen here, we have the 6 members. So you see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members, and these members were already members of this test team. That's why they are already here. Now, again, we have not assigned anything to anyone. So You see here, it's got these buckets, right? And this is the Kanban method that is portrayed here in the buckets. So this board shows us that in the backlog, we have this. Up next is this. In progress is here, blocked and completed. So we have all of our buckets, and we can add new buckets if we need to. Now, you see here it says, let's create a plan, and it says we're already behind sched. Okay, so we have tasks that have been created for us, and you see this is how you would create a task that is urgent. But let's work left from right, shall we? So here it tells us you can assign tasks to yourself or team members. So if I click on this task, now it expands and it shows us exactly all the elements that we can fill in to create a task. So for example, my task, instead of being assigned tasks, will be in the backlog here. Let's say we're really behind on updating the website. So update website, and we know we're behind, and the person in charge of that happens to be Maya. And so I'm asking Maya now if she can update the website. So let's say we want to create a label called SEO. What we would do is we would choose our color first, and once we have it, we would click on it again, and we would modify the title, the name of the label, to show SEO. So now we know that the aqua color will be the SEO label for search engine optimization. So it's in the backlog bucket because we're behind schedule. We will choose a start time. Let's say we say, okay, we gotta start working on it on right after Labor Day. So let's choose this here on the 5th, and we want it done by it might take about a couple of weeks to get this done. So 1-2, here we go on the 19th, and we might have notes that we want to write here, which is update the course catalog and dates of upcoming courses, and then we might have update team picture, and etc. So we might have a bunch of things that we want to do. And you see here we can choose whether we want to show this on the card or not. You see how in the back end, look what happens behind here. If I don't show it on the card, this text will not show, but if I check it, then this text will show. So it avoids having to open the tasks, each of the tasks, to see what's inside them. It gives you some information on the right on the card that's showing in the bucket. Then we could have a checklist, which is really practical. So what do we need? Like all the elements. So here it says update those two things, but it might be, okay, get the login info to the back end from Tom. And then it could be contact photographer for the latest team pick. And then it could be contact head of training to get the list of courses and dates. So you get the gist, right? We end up having a lot of checklists. And once we know that in order to complete this task, we have to do all of this so that we can do this and that we can finally update the website. Okay, and then the last step will probably be make these changes live on website. And there could be another thing in the middle that ends up being, you know what, I need another checklist item that says have the changes approved by management before it goes live. So that, you see, I can grab it now and I can move it if I forgot to put an element in between. I can use documents and have attachments. So let's say I did get the team picture and now I want to add this as I go along. I will add it here. If I type any comments, whoever has been assigned will get the message that there are comments here. They'll actually get an email. And everybody on the team can actually see these tasks. They're not assigned to them, but they will be able to see them in their planner. So I'm going to close this now. And you see this first task has been created, and it says there's 0 of 5 checklist items that have been done, and we can't mark it as done. But I can move it and say, okay, that's our backlog, and let's put it in up next. So I can move it here, or I can say it's in progress once it's started, and I can move it along as it progresses to the finish line. So that's basically how you set it up. Now, if you don't like this board look, you can also have it as a grid. And you see how now it changes. You don't have at all the same information that's able to be seen. And as soon as I click on the eye, I get to see the entire task, right? So if I do the eye here, I get to see this one. And the other thing I can do is I can add filters to what I'm seeing. So you see right now I've got priority, progress, right? I have all this information here, bucket, assignment. So I have all of these, but I can add what's for tomorrow, right? So I can do, I want to see tomorrow. So if I see that, it's going to look for what is due tomorrow. So because my due date is not tomorrow, it's not that's why there was nothing there. So let's say we say next week. Oh, nothing there either. Let's say if it's in the future. Oh, there's the one task about the website that is showing up because it's later than next week, but it's due in the future. So that's how you would filter the information if you wanted to. You can also, you can add a new member. Now, of course, to do that, you would have to make sure they would get added to the team. You can't just add a new member without adding them to the team first. You can look at this board from a charts perspective as well. So here it'll show you status. It'll show you what's in which, how many tasks are in which buckets, which ones are priority. And then you'll see it by individual, look who's been assigned what. So very interesting information to see here. And you'll also see the schedule. So it'll show you in the calendar when we're supposed to do what. So if you look at this month, and you look at next month, and you look at the month after, it gives you an idea of how much work is being done on a regular basis. And you can look at the month or you can look at the week. Now, last but not least, I showed you before we could pin it, right? So if I hit the pin here now, oh, there goes the plan. It'll show up here, which means when I go to my hub, our best plan will now appear right here. So that's a really good way of organizing yourself to make sure that you have everything right where you want it. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope it was very helpful and you got a lot of things to take away with you so that you can now save more time, do better, and feel more in control and less stressed about everything you have to accomplish in a day. So I hope to see you soon on the next one. And again, don't forget to hit that little bell so that you know when the next video is coming out. Until then, have a wonderful day and really have an efficient one. Thanks. Bye.